Nintendo's latest console, the Switch, is really special because it can function as both a home and portable console. How it works is that it can play high-definition home console quality games like any other home console, but it's packaged into a small portable device that can be taken anywhere you go. The Switch shows great promise for Nintendo, but it's not perfect. Let me explain why. The meaning behind the name, the Nintendo Switch, is based on how you could switch between a home and portable console. You can take this device anywhere you go, or hook it up to the TV by placing it into the Fluid dock. The transition between these two modes is seamless, only taking just a few seconds for the picture to transfer onto each screen. Also, the Switch sports a nicely built and modern design, which is a big contrast from the glossy, toy-like aesthetic that previous Nintendo consoles had. The console is surprisingly small and thin too, with tiny matte finish Joy-Con controllers and a sleek central tablet, being about the size of an iPhone plus smartphone. Not to mention that the Switch functions in both modes pretty well, and you're still getting a quality experience either way. While using the Switch portably, games run nicely, the device is comfortable to hold, and the multi-touch display is a beauty to look at. As a home console, a cool thing you could do is detach the Joy-Con controllers and use them wirelessly. These controllers are surprisingly comfortable and functional, featuring small clicky buttons and traditional analog sticks. However, a small gripe with these sticks is that they have a smaller circumference than what you may be used to. This, along with a lack of a traditional D-pad and full-size buttons and triggers, may put you at a disadvantage when playing certain games. Speaking of gripes, this brings us to some of the other flaws that the Switch has. A very common problem right now is that users have been getting poor Wi-Fi signals on their Switch, or not even be able to connect to Wi-Fi at all. It's believed that this is due to a weak antenna inside the Switch, and or if there's metal objects near the console that can interfere with the signal. Many Switches have this problem, myself included, and Nintendo needs to fix this real soon. The Switch's online infrastructure is a big worry as well, which is actually as bare bones as it could be at the time of this writing. The only features available on Switch right now is online play and a friends list that is handled by a tedious friend code system. Voice chat, messaging, and other features, which become staples on Xbox Live and PlayStation Network, are unfortunately absent. Nintendo announced that a full, paid online service will be ready by fall of this year, but we have yet to see if it will be as fleshed out and as reliable as its competitors. Another issue is the Switch's battery life. Nintendo has stated that the Switch will last around 3 to 6 hours while playing portably, depending on the game being played. From my experience while playing The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the Switch only lasted close to 3 hours. This may sound like a lot for one sitting, but it might not be enough for long flights or road trips. Lastly, the biggest hardware flaw that the Switch has is actually its processing power. Understandably, a portable device may not compare to its beefier home console counterparts, such as the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, but having less processing power than those consoles does not bode well for the Switch in the long term, especially for developers who want to port their games to the platform. This is already apparent in some of the games on the console right now, even in Zelda. The game looks beautiful on Switch, but the art style masks limitations of the console, especially since the game only runs at 30 frames per second and can dip deeply when there's too many objects or particles on the screen at once. With a game that has that art style and compressed textures like Zelda running so poorly, it is not a good sign for the games in the future, especially for games that have photorealistic textures and may require more processing power. The Nintendo Switch is cleverly designed and a solid piece of hardware, but the best way to describe this hybrid console is that it is a jack of all trades, but a master of none. It wants to be both a home and portable console, but it does not execute on all these fronts all that well. However, a modernly designed portable device with power that can compete with its home console counterparts shows great promise for the console's success. Granted, we have yet to see how the Switch will actually do in the long run, but for the most part, Nintendo is going on the right path so far.